We're going to start this practice today laying down on our back. If you need some kind of cushion or support under your back, you can get that for yourself. And then we're going to allow our knees to gently open with the soles of our feet together. So we'll have the soles of our feet together, the knees open. This is reclining bound angle pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. To get down, I suggest putting the feet flat on the floor, lowering the body down to the ground, and then very gently allowing the knees to open and the soles of the feet to touch. The feet can be at a distance away from the body that feels good for you. And if you need more support here, then you can put a block underneath each one of the knees. And then either let the arms rest on the ground beside the body with the palms face up, or place the hands over the heart, or one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly. If this is just really uncomfortable in your body, for now, put both feet flat to the floor and the knees pointed up. And take a deep breath on the exhale. Feel yourself connect to the ground. On the next big breath, sense that you are breathing all the way down into the bowl of the pelvis. And releasing the breath to circulate through that diamond shape in the legs. Take 2 more breaths like that. Breathing in, filling up the bowl of the pelvis with breath. Breathing out, allowing the breath to circulate through the diamond shape of the legs. Take 1 more breath like that. And on the next breath, breathe into the belly. Feel your body, your ribs expand. Breathing out, sinking against the floor. On the next breath, see if you can breathe into the belly and up into the chest. A little more fully, a little more deeply. Feel yourself press against the ground as you inhale and exhale, releasing the breath, softening back into the ground. Take a few more deep breaths, and if you like, create your sankalpa, setting your intention or your dedication for your practice. On the next breath, let's start to move our legs. Inhaling, bring the knees up and together. Exhaling, opening them back out to the sides. So we're moving our legs like a sea scallop or a clamshell as we inhale. Bring our knees together and exhale, open back out to the side, waking up the adductors and the abductors. Do this a few more times. And the next time we close the legs together, place the feet flat to the ground. Keep the left foot on the ground, extend the right leg. Either point the toes or flex the foot. It's up to you. Or you can come into a point, half flex, half point. Reach down through the right leg, and then on the inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, lower down. See if you can feel the transverse abdominis, the deep belly muscles as you engage to inhale and lift the leg up, and exhale, lower it back down. Do this a few more times. Good. One more time. Release the leg all the way down to the ground and release the left leg. Take a moment to notice the sensations in the body. Notice what you feel in the body. Notice where you feel those sensations. And now bring both feet back to the ground, flat to the floor. We'll keep our right foot planted this time. Extend the left leg, either point, flex, or point, or that weird combo. The left foot, reach down through the left leg. On the inhale, lift the left leg up. Use the deepest abdominal muscles. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift. Pay attention to what's happening from the center of the body. Exhale to lower. A few more times at your own pace. One more time. Release the left leg all the way to the ground. Let the right leg extend beside it. Once again, drop into the body. Notice the sensations. Asking yourself, what do I feel? Where do I feel it? On the next breath, bring both feet back to the ground. We're going to do some moving bridge pose. So options here, you can either on the inhale, lift the arms up over the head and let them rest on the ground behind you, or you can leave them on the floor. Or a third option is you can interlace the hands underneath the body and just keep them there the whole time. I'm going to do the variation where I lift the arms up over my head, but you choose what works for you. Press down into the ground through the feet. Inhale, lift the hips up. And exhale to release the hips back down to the ground. Inhaling, lifting the hips up. At the top of your inhale, see if you can press the hips up even more. Continue to engage through the feet. And then exhale to release. So this is definitely a movement that you take at a pace that feels good in your body. Even if you move faster or slower than what I'm doing, Follow the guidance of your own breath. And give yourself time to do one more complete round. Warming up the spine a little bit. And this time we'll hug the knees up into the body. Good. Take any other movement that feels good. I just noticed I wanted to roll my ankles in one direction and the other. And then they went pop, pop, pop. Let yourself come over onto hands and knees. If you like, you can roll to one side and push yourself up, or rock back and forth between the sits bones and the shoulder blades until you rock all the way up and over to come into tabletop. Let's find a few cat cows from our tabletop pose to continue warming up the back body, warming up the spine. Move with your inhale and with your exhale at a pace that feels good. We'll just do this for a few more breaths. And the next time that we come into our cat pose, arching the back up, move from here into downward dog. Curl the toes under, press down through the pads of the thumb and the fingers. Press down through the arms to find downward dog. Send the chest towards the thighs. As we look back at our feet, we want to make sure that we have some space probably between the feet. They can, they can be like, I think my feet are probably somewhere like 16 to 18 inches apart. They're definitely wider apart than the distance of my hips. Breathe into the pose, move around however it feels good. If you like, you can pedal the feet a little bit. One breath per movement. Let's stay in this downward dog for 2 more big full breaths. Good. On the next breath, come to forward fold. Move the body so that the feet and the hands come close together. Let the upper half of the body drape forward over the lower half and grab opposite elbows or whatever variation you prefer here. Press down into the feet, feel the connection with the ground underneath the feet. Notice where you might feel the sensations in this pose. With the head being heavy, allow yourself to visualize that the head is pulling the spine apart. And then breathe space into the spinal vertebrae. See if you can press into the feet and lift the sits bones up a little more and spread the sits bones apart.
It's a very subtle movement, and it's kind of hard to explain exactly how to do it. But the more that you press down through the feet, you can use that force to get your pelvis in a position where the sits bones lift up a little higher. And in doing so, um, they end up spreading apart a little bit more. Taking our time, allowing our head to be heavy. Let's come up to standing. The head is always the last thing to arrive. You can take several breaths to come upright. Don't rush it. Give yourself plenty of time and space. And once we're upright, roll the shoulders back a few times. Roll the shoulders back and press them down, either extending the arms beside the body now in Tadasana, or float the hands up to heart center in Pranamasana. Press down through the feet. Lift up through the inner thighs. Lift up through the tops of the thighs into the pelvis. Drop the tailbone down. Lift up through the chest. Continue to press down through the shoulders. Lift up through the back of the neck all the way to the top of the head. Standing tall and firm. Balanced on both feet. Feel your energy circulating. See if you can feel into your energetic field, your auric field. Take a moment to mentally repeat the intention or dedication for your practice. And we'll begin to generate tapas. That's the Sanskrit word that can mean so many things. It can mean heat, fervor, zeal, enthusiasm, passion, energy. All of that is encompassed in this one word. So we'll generate tapas by starting our Ujjayi breath and moving through some sun salutations. Find a slight constriction of the throat. Press the tongue against the upper palate. Breathe in and out through the nose with a little bit of effort so that you can hear the sound of your breath. Take one more long, deep inhale, followed by a full and complete exhale. On next inhale, reach the arms up. And on the exhale, draw the belly in as we fold forward, bending the knees as much as you need to reach the hands to the ground. Halfway lift up with an inhale, lengthening from the crown of the head to the sits bones. With the exhale, release and move into plank pose or modified plank pose on the knees. With the inhale, engage the transverse abdominis, pulling the belly button to the spine. And then with the exhale, press the hands into the ground to lower chaturanga, hugging the elbows into the side body. You should feel the elbows hugging the rib cage, the forearms hug the ribs. And then release into an up dog or cobra for a front body opening. Exhale, press down through the hands to come into downward dog. Take 3 breaths. Staying here for one more breath. Return to forward fold with the next breath. And on the inhale, come back up to standing, reaching through the arms. Exhale, float the hands to heart center. Take a breath. Surya Namaskar A with high crescent lunge or low crescent lunge variations. On the inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, fold forward. On the inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, step the right foot back for high crescent lunge or drop the knee for low crescent lunge and reach the arms up, or if you prefer, another variation with the arms. On the exhale, bring the hands back down to the ground and step back to plank. Inhale to engage, exhale to lower into your chaturanga. Inhale to open the front body. Exhale, find downward dog. Down dog, 2 breaths. Continue to allow the head to hang heavy, the face to relax. With a new breath, come back to the top of the mat, folding forward in Uttanasana. Inhale back up to standing, reaching up through the arms, through the fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, hands float into heart center. Take a breath. Press down through the feet as you inhale to lift up the arms. Exhale to release into forward fold. Halfway lifting on the inhale, finding length from the head to the sits bones. As we exhale, crescent lunge, step the left foot back this time. And inhale, lift up the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Step back to plank. Release into chaturanga, staying engaged. Inhale into your front body opening. Good. Exhale back into downward dog for 2 breaths. On the next breath, make your way back to the top of the mat in Uttanasana, forward fold. On the inhale, come back up to standing, reaching up through the arms, through the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, float the hands down to heart center. Tuck the thumbs up against the chest. Tune in to the rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel the flow of your breath. Mentally return to your sankalpa and feel yourself grounded. Let's move into a little warrior series now. On our inhale,
reaching up with the arms. On our exhale, bringing our bodies forward. Warrior one, step the right foot back. On the inhale, reach the arms straight out in front of you. Pull the shoulder blades together and then float the arms up. Good. And because apparently I don't like eagle arms, we're going to do those now. Start by exhaling the hands or the arms into cactus shape. And then begin to bring the arms together in front of the body until the right elbow crosses over the left and the back of the hands touch. You can stay here or you can wrap the right hand so that it meets the left palm, and then press the elbows up, opening across the upper back and shoulders. On the next breath, release back open into cactus arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together across the chest as a counter pose. Bring the hands together at heart center, and let's come into warrior three for balance. Teeter-tottering up and over our standing leg, lifting the back foot. Point the toes to the ground. The back leg doesn't have to lift very high off the floor at all. The standing leg, you can have the knee as bent, as soft as you need to. On the exhale, bring the hands to the ground, put the right toes on the ground so that we can open up into warrior two towards the long edge of our mat. Take your time to get there. And once we arrive, press down into the feet, press down into the shoulders, turn the head to gaze out over the left arm. Triangle pose, lengthen out the left leg, the front leg, reach the arms up, press the shoulders down, side bend to reach out over the left side. Good. And then open the arms, rotate the chest open. Press down through the outer edge of the back foot. Feel opening in the side body if you can. Good. And on the next breath, release the pose, coming back into warrior two. Bring the hands to the hips and then turn the left toes towards the long edge of your mat, right toes towards the long edge of the mat. Adjust the feet so that they are parallel to each other. And then angle the feet by turning the heels in. We're going to come into our goddess pose from here. So bend the knees like you're doing a plie in your ballet class. Good. And now bring the arms back up into cactus arms. Inhale, bring the forearms together. Exhale, open up, squeeze the shoulder blades, really push the elbows as far back as you can. Inhale, together. Exhale, open. Inhale, together. Exhale to open. Good. And now just press down through the feet to stand, back up, release the arms. Good. If you can from here, just readjust your feet back into warrior two. This is really just to transition. On the next breath, bring both hands down to the ground on either side of the left foot. pivoting on the back toes, stepping back to plank to move through your chaturanga, or just stepping back into downward dog. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. And from here, take the next 5 breaths to explore your own practice. Whether you would like to rest here or find a comfortable seat and rest, or practice an inversion or arm balance, go ahead. Take one more breath wherever you are. We'll meet back in downward dog, or if you like, you can just meet us back at the top of the mat. From downward dog to forward fold. From forward fold, inhale back up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. Tune in. Observe, feel whatever there is to feel. Take one more breath here. On the next inhale, reach the arms up. Ride the breath wave as you exhale and fold forward. Warrior one, other side, step the left foot back. Inhale, reach the arms straight out in front of the body, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then float the arms up. Garudasana, eagle arms. Exhale, bend the elbows coming into cactus. And now start to bring the forearms together until the left elbow crosses over the right and the back of the hands touch. Stay here, or you can grab the right palm with the left hand. Press the elbows up a little bit. Deepen the bend in the front knee. On the next breath, unwind, release back, open into your cactus arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together, stretching across the chest. On the exhale, palms come together at heart center, transition into warrior three, find balance on the standing leg. The back toes are lifted from the ground. But again, that leg does not have to come up very far from the floor. A standing leg might be bent a lot to help you balance and to give you a little wiggle room so that you're not locked out and you don't feel like you're going to fall over. From warrior three, we move into warrior two, placing the hands on the ground, stepping the left toes back, and then grounding the foot to open up towards the long edge of our mat.
Press down into the feet, into the shoulders. Squeeze the fingertips, good. Turn the head, gaze down and out over the right arm. Relax the face, relax the jaw. Continue to press into the feet to lengthen out the front leg, the right leg, and reach the arms up into triangle. Press the shoulders down, side bend out over the right leg. Reach, 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 and then open the arms. Figure out your shape, the orientation of your head. And once you've arrived, start to fine tune the pose by pressing down into the outer edge of the back foot, noticing the rib cage and the opening that's happening in the side body. Notice the opening that's happening in the legs and maybe even in the feet. Feel your toes connected with the ground. Feel your fingertips reaching upward. Breathe a few more breaths into the pose. On the next breath, return the body back into warrior two. Once again, we're going to come into our goddess squat, bring the hands onto the hips, and then turn the right toes first towards the long edge of the mat. If you need to adjust the left foot so that the feet are even and parallel, and then turn the heels in, toes point out. We'll do more squatting this time. You can keep your hands here on your hips or bring your arms up into cactus. Press down into the feet, exhale into a squat. Inhale, press down into the feet to stand back upright. Exhale into the squat. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Find one or two more at your own pace. Good. Notice whatever there is to notice. And then once again, just to transition, if you can, find your warrior two or little modified warrior two. Bringing both hands down to the ground. Popping up onto the back toes. Stepping back to plank. Moving from here through your chaturanga, or just come into downward dog. Or if you like to rest, come back into child's pose. Once again, please take the next 5 breaths to explore your own practice, whatever that may be for yourself. If you just want to come into child's pose, that's good too. Take one more breath to complete. Let's meet with our foreheads on the ground. in balasana, in child's pose. And with the forehead on the ground, feeling connected to our own inner knowledge, our own inner wisdom, our own inner teacher. Taking also a moment to acknowledge ourselves for being here, not only for ourselves, but so that we can show up fully in our life. Slowly start to bring yourself up to standing on the knees in preparation for camel Ustrasana. Place the hands where they go for you to do this pose, whether it's under the ribs or on the legs or the feet. Pull the belly in and then thrust the pelvis forward. Keep pulling the belly in as you reach up and open, arching back, reaching through the crown of the head across the chest. Think about opening the front body from the pubic bone all the way across the throat, across the forehead, to the top of the head. Lifting up and out of the rib cage. That's why this is a big front body opening, or it's easier to think of it that way versus a back bend. On the next breath, come back to neutral. Relax down into child's pose. Maybe wrap the hands around towards the feet. Breathe into the lower lobes of the lungs. Breathe into the lower back, into the kidneys. Let any tightness or tension that built up melt away. And now, in a way that makes sense for you, releasing the pose to come around onto our backs to do shoulder stand and finish up our practice. Shoulder stand can be Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose once again, or rock all the way up into Sarvangasana on the shoulders. Find your pose. See if you can close the eyes or maybe soften the gaze. If you're in shoulder stand, try to wiggle the elbows as close to possible as they'll go. Reach up through the legs, squeeze the inner thighs together, and try to lift from your core, from your center. Take 1 or 2 more breaths. When it's time for you to release after the next breath or so, hug the knees into the chest or release the toes over the head. So you're coming into halasana or a little cosmic egg, apanasana. And now we'll do fish pose, Matsyasana. Make a triangle with the hands placed under the sacrum. Rock the legs out and away from the body. Adjust if you need to so that that triangle is really under the sacrum. And then
Let the forearms meet the ground. Press the chest up and open. Reach back through the crown of the head. The head may or may not touch the floor. Let's feel that opening. Exhale, release, let yourself hit the ground and take a breath. Feel the whole body laid out on the ground. Notice the sensations. Notice the ground under the body. If you want a nice, super long Shavasana, you can just stay here for the rest of your practice. If you would like to finish with a little hip stretching and twisting, then bend both knees, putting the feet flat to the floor. Pick up the right foot, cross the right ankle in front of the left knee. And now pick up the left foot, grab the left leg, figure four stretch. So we'll push the right knee away from the body as we pull the left leg towards the body and create some interesting stretch opening sensations in our right hip. Hopefully, that's the intention. If you feel and experience the pose somewhere else, that's not wrong. Just breathe into the sensations wherever you notice them. On your next exhale, release the left foot back to the floor. Coming into spinal twist from here, you can continue to cross the right thigh over the left or uncross it altogether. Drop both knees now down over to the left side. Open the right arm out to the side and turn the head to look out over your right arm for spinal twist. Continue to practice breathing into the sensations of the spinal twist. Notice where you feel the tugs and pulls and opening in your body. Slowly release the pose. On the next breath, coming back to center with both feet flat on the ground. Let's switch sides. Pick up the left foot, cross the left ankle in front of the right knee. Pick up the right foot, hug the right leg into the body. Continue pulling the right leg against the body as you push the left knee away from your body. And if you're holding your legs just right, you might be able to use your left elbow to push against the left leg. So with this dynamic tension, we're able to get this opening happening here. Breathe deep, slow and steady. Take one more breath. Gently release the right leg so the foot comes back to the ground. Continue to cross the left leg over or uncross entirely. This time, both knees are going to drop over to the right. We'll open the left arm, turn the head to gaze out over the left arm. Perhaps closing the eyes to encourage bringing the awareness inside of the body. The twist on this side might not feel the same as it did on the other side. Or maybe you notice something totally new. Take one more breath. Gently release on the next breath back to center. Give your knees a big hug. If it feels okay, rock side to side. Grab anything that you need for your Shavasana. If you like, you can throw your legs up the wall or put both feet on the floor for constructive rest pose. Grab a blanket, grab a bolster, whatever you need in order to be able to settle in fully. Once you have let yourself come into a place where you can practice stillness for a few minutes. Relax the tongue down behind the lower set of the teeth. Maybe the lips will slightly part open. And breathe without effort. Bring your awareness to the big toes of each foot. And then relax all the toes of both feet. Relax the ankles. Relax the knees. Relax the hips. Bring awareness to the center of the palms. Relax each thumb and each finger. Relax the wrist. Relax the elbows. Relax the front of the shoulders, the back of the shoulders. Relax the collarbone and the neck. Relax, soften the jaw even more. Relax the forehead. Back of the head heavy. Upper back heavy. Hips heavy. Arms heavy, legs heavy. Slowly bend the knees, bring the feet flat to the ground. Bring the palms of the hands together, rub the palms. You have a little bit of heat from the friction. Place the hands over the eyes. Gently blink the eyes open into the hands. The light comes back in slowly. Try to keep a soft gaze as you bring yourself up into a comfortable seat. I invite you to arrive, placing the hands at heart center, tucking the thumbs up into the chest, and softening the gaze or closing the eyes again. We'll close our practice by making the sound Om for peace, for protection, connecting us to infinite universal bliss. You can make that sound out loud or mentally. Take a breath. Om. And closing by lifting the thumbs to the forehead for good thoughts, the lips for good words, the heart for good intentions. Peace to all, light to all, and love to all. If you wish, bowing to your teacher within.